Now, I'd like to make sure you understand that as I'm drawing price channel and looking at prices, you also have to understand it takes time for prices to turn a trend around. It will not happen overnight. It's a process of becoming. A bottoming condition is a process of bottoming, and so is a top. So the general mood would be something like this. You have a downtrend, which after a downtrend, it makes your first rebound, but it makes a sideways shift first before it turns around to go up. Or in the opposite, an uptrend, let's say, for example, if you are in an upward moving market, it will go from up, then sideways, and then down. What you see here is an example of this one, a downtrend going sideways and then an up. This is known as a trend reversal. A trend continuation does a little different. So for example, what could have happened here is this was a downtrend, then go sideways, and quite possible this could have gone down again, and that being a continuation of the trend. So in a trend continuation, what could happen is a downtrend, a temporary sideways move, and then downtrend again. Or in an uptrending environment, it could go up, sideways, and up. So these are the combinations that you would likely see into a market. And always understand that from an uptrend, there's always a sideways trend that comes in before a downtrend comes. It's very rare, not impossible, but very rare that an uptrend will go straight down. It'll probably do that if something major and surprising comes in that nobody has factored in. And perhaps that could be the only reason why you would get a very, very abrupt or sudden change into the trend. And understanding that, remember, in a downtrend, after the first major rally and your downtrend line breaks, be careful about buying this immediately, because remember, it has to go sideways first before it turns around. And so you may have to prepare that after this rally, there might be one more attempt to be able to come down before the major reversal comes in and the market starts to move up again. I'm pointing this out to you now because it's quite possible we are in this phase of our market rally, and that later our market may need to do this before still making a reversal. So keep that in useful mind. So here's an example of a turnaround condition and a gradual one. Ayala Land. Clearly, you can see an uptrend here on the left side of the chart. Let me draw a trend line for you by scoping this entire move up here. Okay. Now, as the price are bouncing through the support areas, you will notice that right before the trend line breaks, you can see two highs that are about the same, and they didn't make a higher high anymore. And remember, our definition of an uptrend is a higher high and a higher low. This failed to do that. This failure here is the one that could possibly change the trend. The breakdown of the price is what confirms the change in trend. Now, after that happens, since this trend has now turned, I will now have to be able to draw a new trend line to encompass the downtrend I'm seeing over here. We'll just widen that so you can see the full range of that. And we'll demonstrate this again. This time, we'll see a downtrend. And I will now draw a downtrend line to cast this decline from here to here. All right, remember, it did bounce, but let's draw this line first. Here's a downtrend line. Then it creates a double base at about here. I'll just draw this sideways range. You can see how prices stopped here for a while, and eventually prices ruptured through the downtrend line, changing its trend and changing this sideways trend to an uptrend. And now I have something more meaningful to be able to establish. So again, it takes time to turn trends around. So in a downtrend like this, remember, here was the first major rally. After the first major rally, look at it coming all the way back down to the previous low and creating a double base. And after that, it makes a rebound, stops at resistance, and eventually breaks through it and changes the potential trend from a downward trend to a sideways trend into an upward moving trend. And this is how gradually a trend will change. So keep that again in useful mind so you know how to be able to navigate your market today.